Hey, I'm like, bro, it's cool. Like, I can't do nothing now. Like, dated 2 pictures and went back on. It was weird, but it was like,
I mean, it was real. This girl was invested.
Like, I guess we just gotta get it.
Now, I can't say I'm mad. I might even be happy. But damn, another one bites the dust. And I can't be mad because I can't fight. I can't fight. I can't fight. I can't.
Things just got dangerously real between Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor. According to explosive reports, Iman was caught breaking into Teyana's home, yelling out loud, "I want my family back." The entire incident was caught on security cameras. And now people are wondering, has Iman finally lost control? This isn't just messy. This could change everything for their custody situation, careers, and personal safety. Around 2:15 a.m., Teyana's neighborhood went from peaceful silence to full-on chaos. Iman was reportedly seen creeping around her. Gated property, clearly not in a calm state of mind. He apparently scaled the fence, yes, jumped it, and made his way straight to her front door. What happened next? Banging, shouting. Neighbors later told reporters they could hear him yelling at the top of his lungs, "I'm not leaving without my family." The level of emotion was intense and frightening. Allegedly, the security cameras captured Iman, pacing back and forth like he was in a state of emotional turmoil. He wasn't just upset, he looked broken, maybe even desperate. Reports say he was asked repeatedly to leave but just stood there, refusing to go, eyes darting like he was trying to figure out what to do next. Meanwhile, Teyana was inside the home with her kids. Can you imagine that moment? Your ex, the father of your children, breaking in while your kids are asleep? Teyana immediately called 911. Sources say she was terrified, not just shaken, but completely overwhelmed. This wasn't just a random moment of drama. This was a breaking point. Teyana had already been increasing her home security since the split, but this confirmed her worst nightmare. She reportedly told a close friend, "I don't feel safe in my own home anymore." And the hardest part? Trying to explain something like this to her kids. Now she's seriously considering filing a restraining order. And given the kids were inside the house, legal experts say she may have more than enough reason to do so. For a mother trying to maintain peace, this kind of emotional invasion isn't just disruptive, it's dangerous. People close to Iman are now speaking out, and they're painting a picture of a man spiraling downward. Ever since Teyana moved on, he's allegedly been in emotional freefall. One source said Iman feels excluded from major decisions involving their children, like birthdays, school events, even basic parenting choices. He feels like an outsider, in his own family, the friend said. Like everyone else moved on and he got left behind. But here's the real question. At what point does heartbreak turn into obsession? This wasn't the first sign that something was wrong. The cracks in Teyana and Iman's relationship go back way before the public even knew about the breakup. There were already whispers, rumors of cheating, emotional distance, constant work trips pulling them in opposite directions. But the real shift? When Teyana was spotted getting close with actor Aaron Pierre. That's when Iman reportedly started unraveling. Sources say he became jealous, angry, and possessive. Some believe this break-in wasn't some random moment of desperation, but a reaction to something he saw. Maybe it was a social media post. Maybe it was gossip he heard from mutual friends. Whatever it was, it clearly triggered something. The police showed up not long after Teyana's 911 call. When they arrived, they found Iman still on the property. Oddly enough, he wasn't immediately arrested. Instead, they escorted him off and gave him a verbal warning. But the legal implications? Oh, they're still very real. If Teyana files charges, and especially if she files for a protective order, Iman could face serious fallout, criminal trespass, a possible restraining order, restricted custody rights. This isn't just another celebrity argument or a bit of tabloid gossip. It may very well be the moment everything changes for Teyana, Iman, and their entire co-parenting arrangement. What started as tension between two people has now escalated into something that could affect not only their personal lives, but their legal standing as parents. The ripple effects of this moment are being felt everywhere, within their families, in courtrooms, and across the internet. Teyana's side of the family isn't staying silent anymore. Her mother, who has mostly stayed out of public commentary in the past, is reportedly furious. She's been quoted telling people, "This isn't love, it's obsession, and he's a danger now." To her, this isn't just about emotions or heartbreak. It's about protecting her daughter and her grandchildren from someone she now considers unpredictable. Sources close to the family say she's been urging Teyana to take serious legal action, not just for her own safety, but for the well-being of the kids. There's a sense of urgency in her voice now, a belief that this situation isn't just dramatic, it's dangerous. On the other side, Iman's sister has taken to the internet to defend him, publicly stating that people are demonizing someone who is simply in pain. He's just in pain. Y'all act like he's a monster, but he's grieving the loss of his family, she posted. To her, and to those standing behind Iman, this isn't about obsession or instability. It's about a man who's lost his home, his partner, and daily access to his children. They say his emotions are valid, even if his actions may have crossed boundaries. They believe he's being judged too harshly by a public that rarely gives men space to grieve openly or break down without ridicule. But the divide is growing deeper. It's no longer just about Iman and Teyana. The tension has spilled into their entire families, and the lines being drawn are becoming more defined by the day. It's a full-blown family fracture, and the legal system may have no choice but to step in and sort it out. Custody could now be determined not just by visitation agreements, but by behavioral assessments, emotional stability, and court-enforced boundaries. We could be looking at supervised visits, scheduled check-ins, and long-term counseling being ordered just to reestablish trust and safety. Meanwhile, the internet is having a field day. From Twitter to Reddit to Instagram, fans and observers alike are deeply invested in the story. People are analyzing every detail, sharing screenshots, creating timelines, and even pulling up old interviews to look for red flags they might have missed. One user tweeted, "This ain't no rom-com, Iman needs real help." Another fired back, "Y'all act like men don't break down too. He just wants to be a dad." The public is split. Some are ready to write Iman off completely, seeing his behavior as unstable and unsafe, while others are begging for empathy, pointing to how rare it is for men to be allowed to show vulnerability without punishment. And now there's one big looming question. Will the security footage leak? Because if it does, it could set off a whole new wave of consequences. This footage reportedly shows Iman outside Aaron's building, possibly pacing, visibly upset, and maybe saying things that weren't meant to be heard by the public. If that clip goes viral, and it's only a matter of time if someone decides to leak it, it could seriously damage Iman's public image. We've seen it happen before. One video can flip the script entirely. Brand partnerships could vanish. Friends might distance themselves. The court of public opinion, which is already swaying, could turn hard and fast against him. Some fans are even speculating about what might have triggered all this. A few believe Iman may have seen something online, a pregnancy post, a photo with Aaron, or a comment that struck a nerve. In their eyes, that single moment may have sent him over the edge emotionally. Others have a completely different theory, suggesting that this whole thing may have been staged by Iman himself to play. The role of the devastated father to manipulate public sympathy or to collect footage for his own legal purposes. In a world where social media shapes perception, nothing feels too far-fetched anymore. And then there are those who fear this is just the opening act in a much larger and more painful legal battle. When custody is on the line, everything escalates. Parents become strategic. Every move is watched, recorded, analyzed, and sometimes people go to extremes to prove that they are the more stable, more reliable parent. This situation could quickly evolve from emotional outbursts into courtroom warfare, with lawyers, therapists, and judges deciding what's best for the children. Because at the heart of all this drama, that's what truly matters: the kids. And right now, they're caught in the middle of a storm they didn't ask to be a part of. Teyana, according to sources close to her, is reportedly considering relocating temporarily, just until things calm down. Her legal team is already preparing the paperwork necessary to change the current custody structure. That could mean supervised visits for Iman, temporary protective orders, and possibly even court-mandated therapy. She's not trying to punish him, those sources say. She just wants safety and peace. She wants to shield her children from the chaos that's currently surrounding them. At the same time, she knows the internet is watching, judging, and spinning the narrative in every direction. This entire situation has evolved far beyond what anyone could have expected. What may have begun as a personal breakup has turned into a very public and very intense legal and emotional battle. The families are divided. The fans are divided. And at the center of it all is a woman trying to protect her children. A man, possibly drowning in his emotions, and a legal system that will soon have to decide what the next chapter looks like. No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. This is no longer just a private matter. It's become a flashpoint for conversations about love, loss, fatherhood, mental health, and the limits of forgiveness. And while the world watches and judges, real lives, those of the children most of all, hang in the balance. And for Iman, the consequences don't stop at the front gate. His public image could take a nosedive. Any ongoing projects or endorsements could be at risk. And if this becomes a bigger legal situation, we could be looking at criminal charges, custody restrictions, and even forced mental health evaluations. And let's be real, if other past behavior or skeletons start coming out of the closet, this could explode into something way bigger than a domestic dispute. This situation between Iman and Teyana has gone from sad to seriously scary, and we might only be seeing the beginning. What do you think? Was Iman acting out of love, or was this straight-up obsession and control? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button if you want us to keep exposing the truth behind this drama. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next jaw-dropping update, because the next chapter could change everything.